Okay, welcome back. Let's start jumping into something a little bit more exciting. Let's start exploring the wonderful world of function blocks in CCW. So here we are. We're in my program 3, which might actually be your program 1 or program 2, but regardless, it's the one with the little blocks in the icon and then the grid paper background. So that's where our function blocks are going to be. Let's come over here to Toolbox, and here we go. We've got basically all the same stuff with a little bit of difference. We've actually got some vertical bar, we've got power rails on the left and right, we've got rungs also, labels, comments, so we do have a little bit of interesting stuff going on over here. Let's see what we've got. We want to set up something. Let's say we want to set up a block that simply adds two numbers together and gets the sum. So let's create a function block like that. Well, the root of that is going to be an instruction block. So let's pull that in over here. And then, conveniently, we've got our arithmetic operations right up here on top. So what do I want? Well, I think I'm going to take an addition block. So addition of two or more integer or real variables. Well, that sounds like exactly what I want. And when I click that, you see here I've got an input 1, an input 2, and an output 1. And if I just hover over it, it tells me I can basically have any kind of data coming into any of those. Wow, that's my kind of function block, man. That is flexible. Let's come back over here to Toolbar, and I'm going to need some information to feed these. So I'm going to go ahead and take this variable, and I'm going to drag that over here, and maybe I'll just drop it right there. And now I get to name what kind of variable I want. So I can create a tag and bring that tag in, but I'm just going to hit cancel for now, and I'm going to come over here and type in a value. And I'm going to type in a value of 10. And see, it's happy with that. It likes it. So it can accept an int or a real. That's not a problem. Well, I'm going to repeat process. That worked so well for input 1. I'm betting it's going to do just as fine for input 2. So let's close that. Come down here and, let's say I want to add 10 plus 20. So far so good, but it's still showing that I've got an error on my block. And if I hover over that error, it says, hey, I'm expecting a variable name and I'm referring to an undefined variable. Well, right here on the output, it's expecting something, but we don't have anything connected to it yet. So let's go ahead and give it one more variable right there on the output. And I will actually create a tag for this because, we can't store it to a number. And I'll just call this sum. That sounds good, right? And that's going to be an int. And I'll go ahead and hit OK. And it didn't wire that up for us, so let's go ahead and draw the wire. And now you see this function block just got happy all of a sudden. So that's basically what one of these looks like. And if we wanted, we could go ahead and make some more robust logic and we could put some conditions into that. So we could say we've got our left power rail here, but then we actually have a direct contact. And there we go. Now it's actually in a little bit better place. And from there, let's go ahead and bring in some kind of instruction block. I'll put it right here. And what do we want to use for that? Maybe we will go ahead and call that a retentive timer. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put a retentive timer in there. And let's just line that up. And when I line it up, it automatically figures out, hey, he's trying to connect me to the input. And so it just goes ahead and wires that up. So now our retentive timer will only be energized whenever this contact is closed. So very neat stuff, right? And then of course, we'll need to go ahead and put a right power rail somewhere over here. And, it's kind of far away, so I had to draw a line. But, that's how we can do it. So we've actually got kind of something that looks like ladder, but it's still floating around in space and still has all the functionality and design like, function block diagrams. So once you know the principle of how to do these things, when you go into different environments, their implementations are all going to be different. But once you get used to one or two of these, figuring the next one out is something that takes you, 10 minutes, not 10 days or 10 weeks. So simple stuff. And I know that's not a whole lot of an intro into this environment, but you should be able to hack your way through and figure out how to set up our alarm logic in this environment using this paradigm. So here's the deal. You go ahead and do your project, try to set it up, bring in that signal, scale it, create the alarms, create the 2 resets for the alarms, try to do it all using function block diagrams, and then when we come back in the next lecture, I'll show you how I tried to do it. So, see you then.